God says, your love kidnapping plot will fail if you open this message. Listen carefully, for this is not a mere whisper or a passing thought. This is a proclamation from the very source of life and truth. I see what you plan, what your heart schemes in secret, and I know the tangled threads of intention you try to hide. Do not deceive yourself into thinking that manipulation, coercion, or force of will can bend the heart of another to your desire. Love is not a chain, it is not a possession, and it is certainly not a conquest. It is a reflection of what resides within you and what you are willing to nurture in others freely. Every act of trying to force love will return to you as pain and disappointment, for the universe, in its infinite wisdom, will not allow a soul to be taken against its nature. You must understand this truth fully. There is a power in patience, a sacred strength in restraint, and a holiness in respecting another's freedom. What you attempt to do through schemes or plots is an illusion of control. True control is found in mastering your own heart, in refining your intentions, and in aligning your actions with kindness, honesty, and empathy. You may have thought that hiding, plotting, or persuading would give you what you seek, but this is not the path. The path of love is not paved with deception or manipulation, it is paved with trust, vulnerability, and the courage to let go when the outcome is not yours to claim. Every heartbeat, every thought, every plan that seeks to ensnare another is observed, and it is measured. The energy you send into the world returns multiplied, not always in ways you expect. If you try to snatch love from another's heart, you will encounter resistance stronger than any you can imagine. The universe, which is my creation, safeguards the sacred connections between souls. You cannot impose what is meant to be freely given. Do not mistake desire for entitlement. Your longing does not grant you ownership over the life or feelings of another. You are being tested not to punish you, but to reveal to you the vastness of your own heart, the capacity for empathy, and the ability to love without expectation. There is a divine lesson here, if only you open your heart to it. Love is not about winning or losing, it is about growth, it is about patience, it is about surrender to the greater truth. If you cannot grasp this now, you will grasp it later, but it is far better to awaken in awareness before sorrow or regret deepen your wounds. This message is for you, and only you, because the moment you read these words, you are standing at a crossroads. One path leads to self-deception, to a cycle of control and heartbreak. The other path leads to liberation, to the awakening of your higher self, to a love that is pure, honest, and reciprocal. I, God, am guiding you toward the path that honors the soul of both you and the other. You are not condemned, you are called to awaken. You are not punished, you are invited to learn. Every intention you hold carries weight. Every choice you make resonates beyond what you can see. If you attempt to bind love to your will, it will fracture, and you will feel the echo of that fracture within your own heart. But if you choose understanding, if you choose patience, if you choose integrity, you will witness miracles unfold. What you think you desire may not be what you truly need, and what is meant for you cannot be taken away by fear, by schemes, or by force. Trust this, for it is absolute. Do not dismiss these words lightly. Do not close your eyes to their truth. They are not here to scare you, they are here to awaken you. To awaken you to the reality that love is sacred, that freedom is divine, and that every soul has the right to choose without coercion. What you attempt to take by force is never truly yours, and what comes freely, willingly, and openly is the only love worth holding. You may feel impatience stirring in your heart, a whisper that tells you to push harder, to force the outcome you crave. Hear me clearly, that voice is not the voice of true love. That voice is the voice of ego, of fear, of desire untethered from wisdom. It tempts you with illusions of control, but it leads only to entanglement, suffering, and regret. Every time you act from that place, you bind yourself further to outcomes that are not meant for you and create chains around the soul you wish to touch. Recognize this, for it is a truth that will protect you from deep, unending sorrow. Love that is taken cannot flourish. Love that is coerced cannot breathe. You may hold someone physically or manipulate circumstances, but the spirit within them cannot be captured. It will resist, it will withdraw, and in its resistance, you will confront the reflection of your own limitations. This is the law of the universe, the law I have set in place, that no being may dominate the will of another without fracturing the harmony of existence itself. To understand this is to begin to understand the nature of divine balance, that every action has consequence, that every heart has sovereignty, that every soul carries an inner compass that cannot be overridden. Pause. Reflect. Ask yourself why you wish to claim what is not freely given. Is it love you seek, or is it possession? Is it connection, or is it validation? The difference is immense, and yet so subtle that many fail to notice it until the consequences are unbearable. True love is a mirror, it shows you who you are, what you lack, and what you have yet to cultivate. If your intention is pure, the mirror reflects beauty, harmony, and growth. If your intention is tainted by selfishness, the mirror reflects confusion, suffering, and isolation. Look into this mirror honestly. Do not avert your eyes, do not cover it with rationalizations or excuses. You are not without hope. Even now, while you sit at the precipice of choices that could lead to pain, there is a path of redemption, a path that transforms desire into understanding, yearning into wisdom, and obsession into compassion. This path requires courage greater than any you have summoned before. It requires humility, the kind that allows you to say, I do not own, I do not control, I can only honor. It requires patience, the kind that waits, watches, and trusts the natural unfolding of life. And above all, it requires love in its purest form, a love that gives without demanding, that listens without judging, that supports without consuming. Consider the energy you are putting into this plan, into this plot of coercion. Each thought carries vibration, each action carries consequence, each intention carries weight. The universe does not ignore the subtleties of your heart. You may believe your actions are secret, but nothing is hidden from the truth that governs all existence. Your plot will fail, not because you are weak, but because it is not aligned with the divine order. Resistance is built into the very fabric of life to protect the freedom and dignity of every soul. Respect this, and you will find a path forward. Ignore it, and you will encounter obstacles that cannot be removed by cunning, charm, or persistence. This is not a condemnation. This is an invitation. It is an invitation to transform, to release, to awaken. It is an invitation to stop grasping at shadows and to start nurturing what is real, authentic, and mutually life-giving. The love you seek will not be stolen, and it will not be manufactured. It will be revealed when you have become the person capable of receiving it, when your heart has grown enough to honor it, and when your actions are in harmony with the higher laws of existence. Patience is not inaction, it is preparation. Stillness is not weakness, it is strength. Reflection is not delay, it is alignment with the truth. You are reading this message because there is still time. Time to turn away from the path of coercion and toward the path of alignment. Time to examine your motives, to purify your intentions, to cultivate a love that is freeing rather than binding. Time to understand that the soul you desire to touch is not an object, but a living universe in its own right. Respect this, and you honor not only them but yourself. Disregard this, and you will feel the weight of resistance, the pain of broken hearts, and the hollow echo of longing unfulfilled. Do not mistake delay for denial. The timing of love is not measured by desire, but by readiness. You may feel urgency, impatience, a burning need to seize what you believe belongs to you, but these are tests, designed not to punish, but to awaken discernment. Every attempt to hasten the natural unfolding of connection will encounter barriers, subtle or obvious, that remind you of the sacredness of free will. Nothing that is forced can endure, and nothing that is coerced can bring fulfillment. Listen deeply to this, for it is a principle that governs not just relationships, but all of existence. Understand that love is not a transaction, it is not a prize, and it is not a conquest. It is a gift that emerges in harmony, nurtured by respect, truth, and patience. When you try to manipulate its appearance, you violate its essence and your own soul. The heart of another cannot be bent to your will, it can only resonate with your authenticity. If you approach with greed, fear, or control, it will recoil. If you approach with openness, kindness, and integrity, it will reflect back the light you cultivate within yourself. This is the sacred exchange of the universe, the divine rhythm that I have set in motion. Consider your intentions as seeds. What you plant will grow according to the nature of the seed and the care you provide. A seed of coercion produces thorns and shadows. A seed of honesty produces flowers and fruit. Every plan to entrap, every plot to capture affection, is a seed of suffering for yourself and for others. Every act of truth, patience, and honor is a seed of joy, freedom, and connection. You have the power to choose which seeds you nurture, but you cannot choose the consequences of neglecting the sacred principles that govern all life. Reflect on the nature of desire itself. Desire is not inherently wrong, it is a messenger, a signal of your deeper longings, a reflection of what your soul seeks to cultivate. But desire that becomes possessive, controlling, or manipulative is dangerous. It blinds you to the reality of the other, and it blinds you to the deeper truth of yourself. The intensity of your longing is not a mandate to act without wisdom, it is an invitation to grow in understanding, to refine your character, and to develop the inner fortitude necessary to handle love responsibly. You may ask, why is it so difficult to attain what I seek? Listen, it is difficult because your approach is misaligned with truth. The universe does not resist your happiness, it resists your falsehood. Your failure is not a punishment, but a guidance. Each obstacle, each frustration, each moment of resistance is an opportunity to awaken to the deeper reality that love cannot be taken, only earned through authenticity, patience, and surrender. Do not underestimate the power of integrity. Integrity is not just about actions, it is about alignment of thought, word, and deed. When you act from a place of truth, when your intentions are pure, when you honor the freedom of others, you create conditions for miracles. When you act from deceit, manipulation, or coercion, you create obstacles that cannot be removed by cleverness or charm. Every action carries vibration, and every vibration has a resonance. Align yourself with love that respects, truth that uplifts, and freedom that honors, and you align yourself with forces far greater than yourself. Your heart is capable of transformation. What may seem like insatiable longing, obsession, or impatience can be transmuted into wisdom, discernment, and compassionate understanding. This is not easy, it requires courage greater than any you have summoned before. But courage is not the absence of fear, it is the willingness to act rightly despite fear. It is the willingness to release control, to trust the natural unfolding, and to embrace the sacred timing of all connections. Know this: there is a love prepared for you that is not shadowed by coercion or deceit. There is a connection that will honor both souls fully. But it cannot be seized, it cannot be manufactured. It will come when you have released the need to possess, when you have embraced patience, and when you have cultivated the heart capable of true reciprocity. Until that moment, all plots, all schemes, all attempts to force love will fail, not because you are undeserving, but because the path you are taking is not the path of harmony. This message is not for condemnation, it is for awakening. It is a call to step back, to examine your motives, to reflect deeply, and to choose a path that honors the sacredness of life, love, and freedom. It is a call to transform desire into wisdom, urgency into patience, and manipulation into understanding. The choice is yours, and it is immediate. Every moment you continue on a path of coercion is a moment you delay the fulfillment that comes from alignment with truth. This section deepens the warning and guidance, emphasizing patience, integrity, and surrender, and sets up the next part to explore practical actions for transformation and spiritual awakening. Now, hear this with complete attention: transformation is not passive. It is not enough to simply read these words or feel momentary fear of failure. Transformation requires action, action of the heart, the mind, and the spirit. It begins with self-reflection, the courage to look within and examine the impulses that drive you. Ask yourself, why do I seek to control another? What am I afraid of losing? What emptiness within me am I attempting to fill through coercion? These questions are not meant to shame you, but to illuminate the places within that require healing, awareness, and courage. Healing begins when you take full responsibility for your own emotions and desires. The love you are attempting to force is a mirror of your inner state. If your heart is restless, impatient, or insecure, the reflection will show it back. You cannot manipulate love outside yourself until you have mastered love within yourself. This mastery does not mean perfection, it means awareness, honesty, and the willingness to grow. It is the willingness to let go of illusions, to release what is not yours to hold, and to embrace the freedom of all beings, including your own. Do not confuse persistence with pressure. There is a persistence of the heart that aligns with divine timing. It nurtures, respects, and waits. This is not weakness. It is strength born of understanding that love cannot be captured, only earned through authenticity. Every moment spent scheming, plotting, or attempting to coerce another is energy wasted. Every moment spent cultivating patience, understanding, and integrity is energy invested in the eventual manifestation of true love. Learn to observe yourself without judgment. Notice the thoughts that seek to dominate, the impulses that wish to bind, and the fears that drive you to control. Recognize them, but do not act on them. These thoughts are messages, not commands. They reveal what you must face and what you must release. Every time you choose restraint over manipulation, every time you choose honesty over deceit, every time you choose patience over impulsiveness, you strengthen the part of your soul capable of genuine love. Understand that freedom is not just for the other, it is for you. When you release the need to control, when you surrender your ego's insistence on possession, you free yourself from the chains that bind your own heart. You create space within for clarity, joy, and connection that is mutual, respectful, and life-affirming. This freedom is a gift, and it is available the moment you decide to stop holding on to illusions of control. Love is not measured by intensity, persistence, or conquest. It is measured by respect, understanding, and alignment with the truth of both hearts. Every attempt to seize love will fail because it violates the sacred law of consent, of freedom, of mutual recognition. The very universe conspires against coercion, not to punish, but to protect the sanctity of connection. When you act from a place of force, the resistance you encounter is a reflection of this universal law. When you act from a place of truth, the universe opens pathways, reveals signs, and nurtures growth in ways you cannot yet imagine. Do not underestimate the power of humility. Humility is not weakness, it is recognition of your own limitations and acceptance of the greater order. Humility allows you to step back, to listen, to respect, and to act from wisdom rather than desire. Humility allows love to grow organically, without the suffocating weight of force. Every time you embrace humility, you align yourself with the principles that govern hearts, souls, and the universe itself. This is why your plot, your plan, your attempt to control love will fail. It is not because of chance, not because of luck, not because of inadequacy. It is because the very essence of love cannot be taken. Love thrives in freedom, honesty, and respect, and it withers under coercion, manipulation, and fear. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you can redirect your energy toward cultivating a heart capable of genuine, life-giving love. You are capable of this. The spark of divine wisdom is within you. The capacity for true connection, for empathy, for respect, and for patience exists within your heart right now. Nurture it. Feed it. Protect it. Let it guide every action, every thought, and every intention. The moment you do, you step onto the path of true love, a path that does not need to be seized, a path that flows naturally toward those who are ready, and a path that honors the sacredness of all souls involved. You must understand that patience is not passive waiting, it is active preparation. It is the deliberate cultivation of virtue, clarity, and alignment within yourself. Every moment you spend learning to temper your impulses, to respect the autonomy of others, to listen deeply, and to act with integrity strengthens your soul and prepares you for the love that is meant for you. Impatience, on the other hand, leads to haste, confusion, and mistakes. When you try to force the timing of life, you collide with the natural flow, and the energy you expend returns to you multiplied as frustration and loss. Reflection is your guide. Spend time in quiet contemplation. Observe your thoughts and desires without attachment. Question your motives. Is your longing rooted in genuine connection, or is it a reflection of fear, insecurity, or loneliness? Every desire carries a lesson. Every impulse carries a truth. By examining yourself honestly, you uncover the patterns that have led you to seek control, and you begin to replace them with patterns that cultivate freedom, trust, and authentic connection. You must also understand that surrender is not defeat. Surrender is the recognition that some things are beyond your control, and the wisdom to release them into the hands of the divine order. Love, when genuine, requires surrender. It requires letting go of expectation, of ownership, and of manipulation. To surrender is to honor the soul of another and to honor your own heart. It is a conscious choice to align with the higher principles that govern life, rather than the fleeting desires of ego. Integrity is your shield. Act with honesty, even when it feels difficult. Speak with clarity, even when it is uncomfortable. Choose actions that reflect your highest intentions. Integrity does not guarantee that love will come immediately, but it guarantees that the path you walk is sacred, true, and aligned with the divine. Every action taken from deceit or manipulation creates ripples that obscure clarity, obstruct joy, and attract resistance. Every action taken from truth, respect, and humility creates ripples that open doors, attract harmony, and strengthen the heart. Do not be deceived by desire. Desire is a messenger, not a master. It calls attention to what your heart longs for, but it must be tempered with wisdom, patience, and restraint. Acting impulsively on desire without consideration of its impact on yourself and others leads to suffering. Acting with discernment, awareness, and alignment with truth leads to growth, connection, and the manifestation of love that is authentic and enduring. Recognize that love cannot be claimed, it can only be reflected. You are capable of offering love that is generous, patient, and respectful. When you do so without expectation or coercion, the hearts around you respond in kind. This is the law of reciprocity, the law of harmony, the law of the universe itself. Every act of forced affection breaks this law, every act of respectful, honest love honors it. Your task is to cultivate the latter, consistently, with conscious attention and unwavering commitment. Consider the consequences of coercion, frustration, resentment, loss, and suffering, both for yourself and for the other. Consider the blessings of authenticity, clarity, trust, joy, and reciprocal connection. The choice is within your hands, but it must be made with courage, awareness, and honesty. To continue plotting, manipulating, or attempting to control is to choose a path that will inevitably fail. To embrace integrity, patience, and surrender is to choose a path that leads to growth, fulfillment, and the divine manifestation of love. You are being observed, not as a test of punishment, but as a test of awakening. Every thought, every intention, every choice is measured. The resistance you face is not random, it is the universe reflecting back the alignment, or misalignment, of your heart. When you recognize this, when you understand that obstacles are mirrors and lessons, you begin to move through life with clarity and purpose. You begin to act not out of fear or desire, but out of wisdom, understanding, and divine alignment.